Hi, I'm Leslie from Woodside. I think, like so many of us, have tried to lose weight many different ways over the years. I wouldn't say I grew up with a weight problem, although weight and food and eating and appearance was something that was ingrained in me as extremely important from a very early age. But I wouldn't say I really started developing a weight problem until I was maybe in junior high and high school, and it just continued to go from there. Over the course of my adult life, I would say from my mid-20s to 40s, I've tried so many different weight loss programs, packaged meals and pills and physician diets, and everything works. All the programs work. I think for me, where it really then came into a problem was maintaining it and just doing something that turned out to be sustainable and a true life habit change. And it was always about appearance and being acceptable, I think, to so many for whom appearance is all important. I first heard about hypnosis. It first landed on my radar actually when I was in college, and I had met a girl whose father was a hypnotherapist, and I remember at the time thinking, well, how strange that she has this weight problem, and I think she would use hypnosis to get that under control. But again, not knowing anything about what hypnosis is or how it worked, other than what we all see on TV, didn't think too much about it and just went on about my life. Maybe about 3 years ago, I really felt like I was at a point where my weight, which had been up and down, but never in a satisfactory place for my whole life, was out of control for me. I just really didn't feel like I had any options, and was beginning to save money for a lap band. I really believed at that point that the only option for me was surgery, and I was saving because lap bands are not something that's covered by most insurance, or weren't at the time, and that's where my headspace was. So I was saving for a lap band in my head, and really started then seeing hypnosis land on the horizon again in various forms and advertisements and reading articles, and I started thinking, well, maybe before I really resort to a surgical solution, I'll look into that, and had some other things happen in my life that facilitated my ability to look seriously into coming in and meeting with Robert and hearing a little bit about what hypnosis was and wasn't, and I'm very glad that I did. It's not as weird as I thought it would be. It's a little weird, but not as weird as I thought it would be. I would say that the most amazing thing to me was how quickly and immediately my eating habits changed. I mean, it was an overnight change in my eating habits that felt completely effortless. Exercise came a little bit longer, or a little bit later, and took a little bit more for me to really develop that habit. But what I had learned was, for me, what hypnosis has become about is learning to get a bigger payoff from having the healthy habits and being very aware of what happens to me when I succumb to unhealthy habits and really preferring healthier habits. So I was very happy to have lost 40 pounds at this point. I certainly plan to continue going. But what is remarkable for me about this solution is that I'd lost that 40 pounds with no diets, no pills, no potions, no surgery, no prepackaged meals, really not even counting calories. It's really just preferring healthier foods and healthier amounts, and I've really developed a desire to get physical exercise, which is not something that I ever would have thought. I am someone that would take up that habit, but now I get antsy. I've recently had a couple of additional changes that make my time a little bit less available for exercise, and I'm frustrated by that, and I'm not someone who I ever would have thought would have been frustrated that I can't get more exercise. So that's very exciting. But what it means to me is that this is a sustainable, long-term solution. If I go up, if I go down, this is not something I feel like I need to go and adjust my meds or go back to packaged meals. This is always something that I have at my fingertips, and I have the tools to really get a handle on my weight loss and my health.
Yeah, and you've kept the 40 pounds off for over a year now?
Over a year, yeah.
Yeah.
Maybe close to, over a year, maybe a year and a half.
Yeah, and let me ask you a question, because you've recently started to come back and say, hey, look, I think I want to take some more off, and so you've used our written service guarantee to do that. honestly, what would you say about the customer service in terms of feeling that, when you need more help, being able to get it and not feeling like you're getting, charged on the back end and stuff like that? I mean, what would you say about that?
Well, I actually come back in fully expecting and and willing to pay a little bit more to continue a service, but that's not something that's been raised or discussed. I think the only thing that's prevented me from coming back in sooner, now that I really want to get back on the bandwagon, is just myself. And having made the call, made the appointment, I've felt welcomed back and encouraged to return really as often as I probably need to.
Yeah, and free of charge. That's the way the program works. With weight loss, free of charge, of course, is welcome to come back once a month as often as you need until you get that, and attend the weight loss classes if you would like to attend those as well. And because it's a win-win. If you're happy with your results, obviously you refer a lot of people, and we want to get the result that you're here for.
Yeah, it's interesting when you do have success, and I have had some success, and it has been as positive experience for me as it has been, and I'm encouraging so many of my friends to come back in. And I think I've had one or two that have made an appointment and come in and met with you. I'm not sure if they've moved forward, but I'm frustrated because I want everybody now who's struggled with weight loss and has really felt like I have no solutions and nothing works for me, and this is not something I'll ever have any opportunity to control in my life. I want them so badly to at least be open and look into this. So I'm always trying to get people and encourage them to at least come in and have that conversation and learn a little bit more about what it is. I think there are so many misconceptions about what hypnosis is, and I think that's a big hurdle. It was a big hurdle for me just to kind of get over all of the mystery around it.
Wonderful. I really appreciate that. Anything else you'd like to add before we wrap up?
Again, I would just really encourage anybody who's thinking they don't have any resorts or looking at last resorts, before you take that last resort, consider just coming in and having a conversation about it. Just talk about it, because there's absolutely, our first consultation was at no charge, and I know that you're certainly happy to just talk again about what hypnosis is and isn't, and just see if it's something that might make sense and demystify it a little bit. It's worth that hour.
Wonderful, wonderful. Thank you very much. And may we have your permission to use this in print and media?
Yes.
Thank you very much.